while in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can maybe bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. I always like to take whichever hand maybe more dominant and place it on a spot on the body that is needing a little bit more love. Whether this be your heart space or your gut, your intuition, your solar plexus. Wherever you are, find a deep breath in, and then exhale. Now we'll move into our controlled breathing. So moving into the belly breath. So as you inhale, focus all your breath down into the belly, fill up, and then fill up the chest. Once you can't breathe in anymore, pause at the top. Then exhale, breathe out through the belly, and then breathe out through the chest. Once you can't breathe out anymore, pause. Inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. Pause at the top. Exhale, let go through the belly, let go through the chest. Pause at the bottom. Follow this on your own breath. As I find myself lying and doing this sort of belly breath, this practice, I like to envision like a wave, filling up the belly, filling up the chest, and then releasing the belly, releasing the chest. Using that wave-like motion as I'm filling up, and then breathing out. Try to keep that as fluid and controlled. Controlled breathing is one of our best friends that we could ever ask for. It helps to calm the mind, helps to calm the body, helps to calm the central nervous system. If you can control your breathing, you can get through anything. A theme for practice today that I have been focusing on for the week has been grounding, finding that nice sense of groundedness. We have a nice grounding flow that we'll be moving through today, but I also invite for you to find a connection with the earth. So as you are lying on your back, you maybe make note of all the points of the body that are connecting with the mat below, connecting with the earth. So maybe this might be the soft spot on the back of your head, your shoulders, your back, maybe just your low back because of the natural curve in your spine. Maybe the knife side edges of your feet. All of that space that is connecting with the earth, allow for that to be as a receptor to take in all of the energy that the earth is willing to give today. This could be calming energy. But I invite for you to invite that into the body, into the systems. Start to let go of your controlled breathing and just come back into your normal breath. Make a note as to how the mind feels, how maybe your face feels. Is it relaxed or is it tense? And then coming back, just noticing maybe the nice buzz that we have in the body from all the blood flow that has been newly brought oxygen. Wherever you are, start to close your legs together like a book. Bring your knees into your chest. Start to rock and roll the length of your spine, giving yourself a little bit of extra momentum. You can take them a couple of times, back and forth, and then come up into a seat. Reach the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, plant the left hand and then reach up and over with the right. Allow for your right hip to be concrete onto the earth. Maybe focus your gaze up through the bicep, filling up the right ribs. Inhale. Twist a little bit more on the exhale. Inhale, come back up through center. And then exhale, plant the right hands, then the left arm up and over. Maybe actively press with the right hand to send the left hip down to be connected closer to the earth. Maybe focus your gaze up to the sky. Fill your ribs up on the left side of the body. Inhale, come back through center, reach the arms up overhead. And then exhale, reach the hands actually out in front of you. Interlace your fingers and then shine your palms towards the front of your space. And then round through the shoulders, drop the neck, the chin down as if you're doing like an angry cat pose. Inhale, rise up, reach up with the arms. Maybe bring it back a little bit behind the ears, finding that nice little back bend. And then start to bend over to the right and over to the left. Inhale, drop down through center, round through the back. Exhale, rise up. Start to bend to the left and bend to the right. Once more, dropping down, curling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center, and then exhale to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist the body so much so to the right as if you can't feel it go any closer to the side. And then drop your hands down. Words are hard tonight. Into just this easy seated twist. So as you inhale, reach up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, twist and focus the gaze behind you. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back up through center, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Place one hand on the knee, one hand behind the back. Inhale, reach up with the crown of the head. Exhale, start to twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, start to focus the gaze back behind you. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll move into tabletop. As you inhale, flip the tailbone up to the sky, sink down through the belly, shine through the crown of your head, cow. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, press the floor away, broaden into the shoulder blades, tuck the chin, angry cat. Inhale, sink down through the belly button, shine through the collarbones, rise through the crown of the head. Exhale, press the floor away, broaden through the shoulder blade, round through the spine, angry cat. Move through cat-cow. Maybe as you sink down your belly downwards, and you can find the nice side bend, lengthening out, wagging the tail from side to side. Then once you move into cat, the angry cat, do the same, lengthening out through the side bodies. If you have any stretching that needs to be done in maybe the forearms, you can send your fingers back towards the knees, and then maybe start to rock from side to side, opening up the wrists and that forearm area. You can maybe come to and from child's pose if that's what your low back is craving tonight. Inhale, come back through to a flat tabletop once you are complete with your last round. Inhale, shine the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Place the right shoulder down onto the earth, the right cheek down. Maybe start to walk your fingertips up towards the top of your space. Bring your hips back in space and over towards the right side. You can extend your left leg long as well if you want to find a bit more intensity into the stretch. Start to bring the extremities back into the center line of the body. Press down through the left hand, shine the right arm up to the sky. Open twists, and then exhale, plant the hand down onto the earth. Inhale, shine the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Rest the shoulder and the cheek down onto the earth. Bring the hips back and over to the left. Find a deep breath in. Twist on the exhale. Press down through the right hand. Send the left arm up to the sky. Counter twist. Exhale, bring it back down through center. Take one more cat-cow, just evening out through the spine. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. You You can maybe pedal through each one of your legs, opening up the back sides of your hamstrings, maybe shift into one hip and then the other. Actively press your chest back towards the thighs. Maybe take a little generous bend in your knees if that's comfortable. Inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Heel leading the way, toes facing the ground. Now take a bend in your knee and then stack your hips. So find a flex in that right foot. Try to close the space between the right heel and the right glute, and then lead up to the sky with the right knee. Bring the right armpit down in space so it's in line with the left. Inhale, three-legged dog, straighten through the top leg, close up the hips. Exhale, low lunge at the top of your space. Soften the back knee down to the earth. Plant the left hand onto the floor. Inhale, dragonfly twist, reach up with the right hand. Stack the shoulders on top of one another. You can maybe start to rotate your thumb around 360 degrees and then maybe take the arm forward and back, opening up and lubricating that shoulder girdle. Take a deep breath in, come back through dragonfly twist. Exhale, lizard. Plant both hands to the inside of your right foot. Toe heel your right foot to the outside edge of your mat. And then sink into your left hip flexor. Allow for your shoulder or your knee to be stacked directly over your ankle. Yeah. You can drop down onto your forearms, or maybe start to roll out onto the knife side edge of your front foot so that you're able to send your knee out to the side. Wherever you are, start to stamp that foot back, and then toe heel towards the center of your space. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. So rise up, stack the shoulders over the hips. But this time we're going to start by having the hips directly over the back knee, and then start to bring your front foot in a little bit more. This is more of an aligned version of low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Now, once you find this to be comfortable, you're wanting a little bit more, maybe start to walk your front foot out a little bit more and then sink into the left hip flexor while still keeping the ribs and the torso up and out of the hips. Not dump into the body and dump forward. You want to keep up and active with the torso. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck your back toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hip. So just as you did on the other side, find that nice flex in the left foot. Close the space between the heel and the glute, and then drive that left knee up to the sky. Bring the left armpit down in space simultaneously, elongating that left side body. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Soften the back knee down to the earth, untuck the toes, rise up, dragonfly twist, send the left arm up to the sky. Maybe take that circle 360 degrees with the thumb. Maybe taking the arm forward and backwards, opening up that nice, that shoulder, left shoulder. Beautiful. Start to come back through center, dragonfly twist. Exhale, plant the left hand to the inside of your space, and then toe heel the foot to the outside edge of your mat, lizard pose. So you can maybe scoot that back foot back a little bit more, and then as you shine through your chest, find an inhale, then exhale, start to sink into that right hip flexor. You can drop down to your forearms if you did so on the other side, or maybe if you didn't do so on the other side. We like to try to keep things equal on both sides of the body, but also still remember, very strong advocate for the fact that our body is created of two separate entities, the right and the left side. So allowing for you to consider those to be two separate bodies, that gives you a little bit more grace as we move through our practice. Start to make your way back up onto your hands, and then toe heel your foot towards the inside of your mat. Frame the front foot, and then inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. This time, as we did on the other, press back with the hips so that they are in line with the knee. Your front knee is directly over the ankle. You're welcome to stay here and just use this variation. Or if you want a little bit more in the hips, maybe walk the front foot forward and then still keep that lift in the chest. Start to sink into the right hip. Take a big breath in. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Start to pedal out through each one of your legs. Just making note of the difference in how your body might feel after that little bit of movement. Yeah. Start to make your gaze up to the top of your space and then take tiny steps all the way up to the top of your mat. Bring your feet so that they're about hip width distance. Take a generous bend in your knees, rest your belly on your thighs, let your head hang heavy, ragdoll pose. You can sway from side to side. I always like to make note that as we sway in our ragdoll, finding the 4 points in each one of our feet, the space between or just underneath our big toes and our pinky toes, and then the left and the right side of the heel. And as we shift our body weight from side to side, just being aware of that transfer balance and those 4 points can sometimes help bring awareness and strengthening into the feet as we move through any sort of standing postures. Slowly start to release your hands and then stack each vertebra on top of one another. Come into standing, and to closing your eyes and bring your hands to your heart center, your Anjali Mudra. This Anjali Mudra signifies the joining of the right and the left side, the mind and the body. It also allows for a sense of groundedness. So as you move through your practice today, finding that mindfulness that we had talked about at the beginning of class, allowing for that sense of grounding to be utilized as we make connections with the earth. And we'll also be moving through a few postures that will have these hands to the heart center, this Anjali Mudra, that allows for you to come back into the groundingness of maybe some thoughts that we may have as we move through a flow or stretches that we may have. Just find ourselves, all in all, just be grounded. Wherever you are, whatever you decide to set as your intention, take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth to seal it. Start to flutter the eyes open. And then as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands onto the shins. Make the number 7 with the body. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the feet back, high plank. Inhale, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Then exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the earth, the elbows kissing the sides of your ribs like a tricep push-up. Find your palms, find your fingertips, find them into a little bit of a tent and take them to the outsides of your mat. As you inhale, we're gonna move through a variation of baby cobra. So we press the shoelace side edges of our feet down into the earth so much so that the knees come up off of our space. And then you're shining up through the chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down towards the center of your space. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, dip the left shoulder down. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, release. Take the hands, interlace them at the small of your back. Press down through the shoelace side edges of your feet still. And then inhale, locust pose. So you're gonna walk the hands down to maybe to go past to the booty if that's possible. But you're still pressing, it's like a bound Superman, if you will. So your feet are still pressed onto the ground, but you're reaching up and back with the chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower. Plant the hands just under the shoulders and press up and back into a child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe rock the forehead from side to side. Inhale, come back through to a tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the right leg high and strong straight to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hip. Inhale, three-legged dog, straighten through. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, dragonfly twist. Send that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, horizon lunge. So we're gonna rotate all 10 toes towards the long side edge of our mat, and then send our gaze and our focus and our hand back towards the back space. Inhale, come back up, dragonfly twist. We'll move through that one more time. So exhale, drop all 10 toes towards the long side edge and reach and look back to the back of your mat. Stay for an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, rise up, dragonfly twist. Exhale, plant both hands onto the top part of your mat, and then step the left foot up to meet the right, Malasana yogi squat. So as you find yourself here, your feet are at about a 45-degree angle. Your elbows are toward the insides of your knees. Your hands are at your heart center. You're welcome to find that Anjali Mudra. You're also welcome to engage your Uddiyana Bandha, which is like your pelvic floor, that power center, and allow for you to find that just that little bit of extra lift from the ground. Yeah. Find a deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Grab your opposite elbows and start to sway from side to side. Inhale, slowly start to rise all the way back up. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Find that Anjali Mudra, that sense of grounding. Press down through the four corners of your feet and just find that little bit of awareness. Maybe pick up your toes and place them back down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the feet back, high plank. Inhale, shift the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Bring the hands out wide. Tent the fingertips as if you could put a little mini cupcake underneath there. And as you inhale, shine up. Baby cobra. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the right shoulder towards the center of your space. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder. And if you maybe want to go through it once more, you're welcome to open up the chest that way. Just keep going. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower. Interlace the hands at the small of your back. Press the shoelace side edges of your feet into the earth. Inhale, shine up, locust pose. Allow for you maybe walk your hands down the booty, getting up and back as furthest you've been so far. Take a big breath in, nice chest. Exhale, lower all the way down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, press up and back. Child's pose. Knees out wide, toes together to touch. Maybe rock the forehead. Inhale, start to make the transition into tabletop, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hip. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, low lunge. Keep the back knee up and active. Shine the chest to the side. Send the left arm up to the sky. Dragonfly twist. Take a big breath in. Exhale, rotate all 10 toes towards the long side edge of your mat. Drop the hips down. Reach back with the hands. Look to the back of your space. Inhale, rise back up. Dragonfly twist. We'll move through that one more time. Exhale, horizon lunge. Reach back, look back. Stay for a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot up. In line with the left, sink down, yogi squat. Find that Anjali Mudra. Maybe find a close in your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take one more big breath in. Allow for this rooted type of pose, this grounding pose to central you, and allow for you to be connected. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into downward facing dog. we'll actually just come through to a seat. Yeah. So how we're going to go through the yin portion of our practice, we will start off with a forward fold. So we're going to find just a flex in our feet, maybe move the goodness from beneath your sit bones. And as you inhale, reach up, find length up through the spine. Exhale with a flat back, slowly start to shift and hinge over the legs. Once you feel like you can't go anymore without flattening the back, maybe drop the arms to the sides of the legs. Keep the legs straight and engaged so that you get the focus on the hamstrings. Maybe start to close the space between your thighs and your chest. Take a big breath in. Now take a bend in your knees and start to round through the back, tuck the chin, and send that stretch to your low back. Yeah. Inhale, slowly start to rise back up. Stand both feet down onto the earth, maybe shift your hips forward, and then use the backs of the thighs to lower yourself all the way down to the earth. Bring the soles of your feet to touch your knees out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Place one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly. Find the gentle close in your eyes. Let's come back into this space that we found at the beginning of class. Do a body scan from all of the points that are connecting with the mat below. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Reach your hands to the backs of your thighs and close your knees together like a book. Bring your knees into your chest and rock and roll the length of your spine, just as we did at the beginning of class. Find a cross in your ankles, plant the hands, and move into a tabletop pose. So we're gonna be moving into puppy pose. So this is essentially child's pose, but your butt's in the air. So you're gonna reach out, as you are right here, you reach out further in front of you, and then try to melt your chest to the floor. You wanna ideally have your hips directly over the knees. You can maybe drop your chin so that it rests on the mat. Laurel, this might feel good on your shoulders. We'll just focus our gaze towards the front of our space. If you ever are wanting to prep for forearm stand or something along those lines, this is a really great warm-up or a great stretch for you to do as well. It's said in yoga that once you feel like you can't handle it, the pose anymore, that you want to get out, that's when the pose begins. So as you find yourself in this challenging mentally and physically of a pose, check with yourself to see, is this pain or is this just discomfort? And if it is discomfort, then is it gonna start to open the pose for me? Take another big breath in. Exhale. Inhale, slowly start to move your way back up. Coming out gently at a puppy pose. Now we're gonna take the bolster or the pillow that we have. We're gonna place our knees so that they're out towards the long side edges of our space. We're gonna go into assisted child's pose. So we're gonna bring the bolster in towards the insides of our legs. And we're gonna just rest the torso down onto the bolster, and then reach the arms out front if you would like. If you wanna find a more restorative, you can maybe bring the hands along the sides of your body. Just rest palms facing up. You can rest with your chin on the space, or you can rest with one cheek. I'll let you know when we are halfway through, so you can alternate between the cheeks. Start to switch sides. If you have one cheek down, maybe switch it to the other. Gently start to make your way back up into leaning onto the heels. You can keep the bolster handy. We're going to move into straddle. So we will have our legs out wide. The wider the legs are, the more intense it is onto the inside of your thighs. If you want to have it be a little bit less intense, you can bring the legs closer together. You're welcome to keep this bolster and place it near the inside of your legs. And then as you rotate forward, you can drop the chest down. If the ground is too far for you, you can rest the bolster or pillow up at an angle and then rest your forehead on the bolster itself, like this, but straightforward. Or the pillow, either way. I invite for you, as you find this time where you are holding these poses and your brain might be saying, I need to fidget, I need to move, this is uncomfortable. I invite for you to find awareness in the stillness of the pose. That is where a lot of the benefits happen. So resisting that urge to fidget, resisting that urge to move can allow for you to become mentally clear, mentally capable of holding these poses. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths. Gently start to make your way back up. You can remove the bolster, place it to the side. Keep your right leg out long. Take the sole of your left foot, place it to the inside of your left thigh, or figure 4. We'll reach arms up overhead and then twist towards the right side. Once you can't twist anymore, gently start to fold the torso over the right leg. We're going to try to keep our shoulders square to the floor for the beginning part of this pose. We'll give ourselves about 5 to 6 breaths here. Now we're going to take our left hand, we're going to reach it up and over towards the knife side edge of our foot, and then try to find that nice rainbow type effect coming out of the left hip. Reaching up and ideally trying to touch the toes. Focusing the gaze up and under the bicep. Inhale, come back up through center. Bring both feet in towards the center of your body for butterfly pose. So this first pose that we'll do will be allowing for the heels to be close towards the pelvic floor. So as you inhale, shine up through the chest, and with a flat back, start to ascend your torso forward and then maybe start to fold over. You can take that bolster that we had before or that pillow, maybe use it as a pillow as you move your chest forward. The beautiful thing about these yin style poses is that you do get the chance to be quiet within your mind. So I invite, as you find this sense of possibly a meditative state, that if there's anything that comes up as you are trying to clear the mind or trying to keep it quiet, just focus on the breath. The sensations of maybe the air hitting the nostrils as it's coming in and filling up the lungs, and the warmth as the air leaves the body. Just coming back to the present moment, allowing for anything that may be distracting to be set aside. Start to gently make your way back up into a seat. Keep the right leg into where it's at. Extend the left leg out long. Plant that sole of the right foot onto the inside of the left thigh, or figure four. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist the body towards the left, and then gently start to send the torso up and out, folding over that left leg. Try to keep the shoulders square with the ground. Keep the legs straight as possible. Now with the right hand, reach up and over, start to open the torso, and then extend, find that rainbow-like motion coming from the outside of the right hip up, the side body, and then extending out through the right arm. Maybe focus the gaze up and under the bicep. Inhale, start to come back up. Bring both feet in towards the center again for a second variation of butterfly. This time we'll have our feet out about maybe 6 to 8 inches from the center of your pelvic floor. And then I guess however much your outer hips need. When you have your feet in close, you get into the inside of the legs. When you have your feet away, you get into the outer hips. So we want to target this muscle group, the gluteus minimus, I think. I don't know. I need to be better at anatomy. Wherever you are, find a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly start to send the chest forward and down. Just as you did on the other side, you can take this pillow. You can use it as a little bit of a cushion, a pillow, if you will, for your head. We'll be here for about 10 to 12 breaths. Another thing I like to bring up, especially when we're finding that meditative state, as we were holding these poses, once I stop talking, that even if we do have things that come up, and it can sometimes be frustrating to not have a quiet mind to initially start, try to not forget the fact that these memories that are coming up, that we need to find joy in the concept that we even have memories to share. We have things that we need to do. We have the people in our lives that we're thinking about. It's all a blessing. The fact that we have this capability to recall these certain images, these certain tasks, these certain instances is a blessing. So once you acknowledge, you say, thank you for the memories, brain. I appreciate you. Now I'm going to just allow for this to drift off like a cloud in the sky. And I'm going to start focusing on my breath. Inhale, gently start to make your way back up. Extend the legs long. Maybe start to wiggle out through the knees. Start to slowly lower yourself down onto your mat, onto the back. Stamp the left foot onto the mat. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee. And then reach through the inner parts of your right foot that just created that nice hole for the back side of your left thigh. And gently start to bring that knee in closer towards your chest. Find a flex in both of your feet so that you're able to protect your knee joints. Find a deep breath in. Exhale, start to cross your legs like as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Now drop them down to the floor, shift the hips over to the right, and then drop the knees over to the left side for a supine twist variation. If this is too intense for you, you can always just stack the knees on top of one another. But wherever you are, allow for your shoulders to stay concrete, stay heavy onto the earth. Allow for this connection with the base of your skull, the tops of your back, the backs of your shoulders, maybe the triceps, the forearms, to be connected with this base. Allow for it to be grounding. Inhale, come back through center. Switch the legs. So stamp the right foot on the ground, send the left ankle over the right knee. And then gently start to bring the right knee in towards your chest. Find a flex in your top and your bottom foot. And then gently start to bring that right knee in towards your chest. Start to bring that right leg down, cross the left leg over the right, maybe shift the hips over to the left side, and then drop the knees over to the right. Start to maybe focus your gaze or close the eyes towards the left side, soften the eyelids. Inhale, come back through center. Bring your knees into your chest and reach for the outer knife side edges of your feet for happy baby. And a flex in both feet so they're parallel with the ground along with your quads. Your ankles are stacked over the knees. Maybe rock from side to side. Maybe extend one leg and the other. Start to bring your knees back into your chest. We have one more pose before I move into our final Shavasana. It'll be a variation of either shoulder stand or plow pose. So if you're wanting to get into shoulder stand, if you don't want to do shoulder stand, you're welcome to just find a wall or a dresser or a couch and just sit with the legs up the wall. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can hike your hips so that they're up and over close towards the shoulders. Maybe bring the feet so that they're in line with the hips or close to the shoulder length. And then maybe walk the elbows in to the midline as best as you can. Try not to focus your gaze towards anything else except for what's in front of you. If you want a little bit more of an intensity, you can try to bring your toes to connect with the space behind you for plow pose. If you find that this is comfortable, you maybe want to take a bend in your knees. For ear muffs, you can do so as well. Wherever you are, find a big breath in. Exhale. Inhale, start to slowly make your way back out the way that you came, gently dropping vertebra by vertebra, bringing the hips down to the ground. And then starting to roll all the way out, letting the legs long, the arms long, moving into Shavasana. Maybe picking up your shoulders and dropping them down your back, letting your head rock side to side, finding that nice sweet spot at the base of your skull. Moving the tongue from the roof of your mouth, wiggling the eyebrows, allowing for there to not be a furrow, relaxing the skin near your temples. Finding a deep breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. As you find yourself in Shavasana, I'll take you through a guided meditation. You find yourself in a large field. This field is full of beautiful yellow wheat as maybe swaying with the breeze. You are sitting on a rock close to the ground. You're just taking in everything that is around you. You're feeling the nice breeze on your skin. You can hear the chirping of the birds, the buzzing of the flies and the bees, different insects that are flying around. Seeing beautiful butterflies, maybe even a squirrel or two. You're just taking in all of this beauty. And you find this nice patch of soil that's right below you. It is fresh, there is no weeds, it's nothing but just beautiful, clean soil. So you take your feet and you dig a little hole. You cover back up your feet with this nice soft dirt. And you allow for yourself to just sit. You feel grounded because you're connected with the earth. You gently start to close your eyes. And as you inhale, you fill up all of this goodness that is outside, that's surrounding you. And as you exhale, all of your worries coming out the toes, out the feet, the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, being planted into the soil to be taken up by the earth. Inhale all of the goodness. Exhale, allow for the earth to take away any stresses or any different tensions or emotions that you might be feeling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Start to slowly deepen your breath, feeling the rising and the falling of your chest. Run your thumb across each one of your finger pads. Make little circles with your wrists. Gently run your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Reach your arms up overhead. Find a good morning stretch. Make yourself as long as possible from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. And gently start to roll onto your favorite side. Finding the limbo, the purgatory of what has been and what is yet to come. Corpse pose or shavasana is the death of this practice, but it's also the death of what's not serving you. Fetal pose allows for rebirth. It allows for this groundedness, this sense of earthy, this rooted feeling that you're feeling after this practice today to be applied into your everyday life. Gently start to make your way up into a seat with your eyes closed, your hands to your heart center, finding that Anjali Mudra, that joining of the right, the left side, the mind and the body. We'll seal our practice together with one collective breath as if we have one lung. Inhale, exhale. Bring your thumbs up towards your third eye center and the space between your brow. The light and the love in me honors and cherishes the light and the love in each of you. With gratitude, I bow forward. Namaste. Thanks, y'all.